What's up, everybody? This is Ahmed.
And your boy, Lofy.
And this is the Brotherly Love Podcast, episode 29.
Yep.
Got a crazy setup now. Y'all can't really see it, but...
What do you mean they can't see it? They should be able to see it after.
Look at the beautiful skin. Melanin.
Yo, this nigga
Nubian King.
Right.
You know?
Man gets a haircut, think he Michael B. Jordan,
bro. I'm not even gonna lie. Bro. When I got my haircut, immediately I was like, anyone who tried to call me, I'm like, watch out. What you talking about? Nah.
Yeah, get a haircut, be like, new me, who this?
Yeah, literally. Someone tried to hit me up like, well, who's this? I don't even know who you are. Oh, block number.
I don't talk to no girls with a fresh
Nah.
It do. It make you feel like a whole new person.
Oh, no, yeah, definitely. Because I think it's necessary for dudes to have maintenance in a way of like, make sure they're physically working out, make sure that they're emotionally healthy. And then also, you know, like, even though you might not care what other people think, just feeling or looking physically good makes you feel good. It's like the concept where it's like, you have, let's say like Mondays, right? Like, no, like everyone doesn't like Mondays. People in school, in high school would say to dress up on Mondays. So that way you have something to look forward to. Yeah.
That's interesting. Because a lot of people dress up.
My nigga, are you eating Smarties? Okay. At 7 a.m?
This man making a show for the podcast.
I'll explain later, but continue. They'll understand.
Explain now.
No. Go ahead. Keep I'm gonna go in on you, but yeah.
I don't even remember what the hell you're talking about.
I was talking about physical appearance, dressing up on Mondays.
Nation of Islam, like, you know, they get dressed up on Friday.
Okay.
You know, they wear their suits. You know, they present themselves. A lot of people. I remember when I was in school, we tried this thing for a while where it was like suit up Saturdays or something like that, or like flashy Friday, or it was like one day of the week where it was like, all right, all of us are gonna dress nice, like on this day.
Yeah.
And it makes a huge difference. You know, I remember, it's funny you say that because I remember like growing up, I wanted to like my job to be like I wear a suit every day because I thought that meant like you're successful, or like that meant like, you know. Yeah. And what I realized, like when I was in a position where I was wearing a suit like every day, is like it doesn't mean anything. When you do something every day, you bring no swag to it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're rocking it like you rock everything else. That's why when you go to New York City, you know, half the people there are wearing suits, but they looks completely average. Yeah. It doesn't stick out, the fact that they're wearing a suit, right? But when you wear that suit once a week or once a month or whatever, and you know you look good in it, you just got a fresh haircut, you just hopped out the shower, you're feeling good, you're feeling yourself, that energy comes out. You know what I'm saying? And not only just the suit, but in how you rock it. And then other people see that and they like, who is that dude rocking the suit? It's not who's that dude wearing the suit, who's that dude rocking the suit.
No, yeah, I definitely agree. Like I remember, I'm trying to think when this was. This might have been like maybe like last month, maybe 2 months ago. I got like a fresh cut. And I remember just like the outfit I had on, right? Like it was just like so like saucy, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like a black like turtleneck, you know what I'm saying? Like nice jeans, nice shoes, all that kind of stuff. And I remember I went into the grocery store, and I mind you, at the time I don't think I reminded myself I had a haircut. So when I walked in, like I was getting stares, and I was wondering, I was like, why are people looking at me? And I was like, oh, it's like the, you know what I'm saying? Like the feel or like the walk to it. So it's like, I definitely agree. Like for me, I'm not really a big person on constantly trying to impress or constantly trying to show people I have wealth or I look good, you know, whatever it is. Cause I will wear bummy clothes 97% of the time. And that 3% of the time, I don't mind dressing up. I don't mind like looking good. Cause then it's just like, I don't know, it kind of makes a statement in a way. It's for me. It's like, it makes me feel like, yeah, I don't need the clothes to show you how much of a boss I am. Yeah. I
1000% live your sentiment, but I also have to push back against it.
That's fair.
You know, because one, I realized too, everyone who watches the pod, like you guys know this, like we're very similar.
Yeah.
You know, and like our perspectives and view takes on a lot of things, they go in lines, and that's cool. But the bad thing about it is we're not challenged on that a lot, or we don't get an outside perspective. So we have to challenge ourselves, like what I'm about to do to you right now. Even though I look how I dress on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, this is how I'm dressed like this because I'm about to go out to the world like this. Like, this is how I dress every day. You know what I'm saying? And, like, but we're being lazy in certain aspects too. We're not putting in the work in certain aspects too, because we're in certain ways we're resting on our laurels. And I understand why we do it. And I'm not, listen, like I said, like I started off, I do what you're saying, so I'm with you, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, though, we have to be honest about the fact that if you don't present yourself well, people perceive you how you present yourself.
That's true.
You know, so it doesn't matter if you're a great dude. If you present yourself as a bum, women are gonna take you as a bum.
I think people in general will treat you as a bum, but I also understand the aspect of like in the dating world, or you know, just interactions in general. Because I remember this is a prime example. I remember this was in college. It was like my junior year. Mind you, because like I said, I'm a big person. I'm like, I don't really care. I'm not here to impress you. I'm just doing my own thing. And I remember it was like a Saturday or something. It was like in the morning. So I dressed bummy because I had a meeting at like 9 a.m. I don't really care. And I remember I was walking with the dude and like I'm mad cool with him, right? Mad cool when we're just talking, whatever it is. And then there's this kiosk with a bunch of shawties, a bunch of girls, right? And I remember instantly, as soon as they saw him, bro, it was like all the girls were like, come here. How did it like just like trying to like reel him in, whatever. And so he did his own thing and I was just walking. And I remember just like thinking, I was like, like that's mad interesting, right? It's like the way, and mind you, he wasn't like crazy dressed up. It was just his style and how he presented himself was different than me. Me was like, I had a hoodie and sweatpants. I didn't care. I'm going back to my dorm. Him, he was like, I'm here to interact. I'm here to talk, da-da-da-da-da. And so it brought out that energy that other people wanted to be invited in.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Perception matters.
Yeah.
You know, we talk a lot like, oh, don't judge a book by its cover. Bullshit. That's why the cover is there. So that you can get a quick glimpse into what's in the fucking book. I don't need to spend, 2 weeks reading a book when I can get a quick synopsis on the back and get an idea from the front.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In the same way, that's how we move and maneuver through life, whether we want to admit to it or not. You know, like I said, I live in that fantasy world where, you gonna respect me for the shit I did. You gonna respect me for who I am, not what I'm wearing. But that's how it is in my mind. That's not how it is in reality, in everyone else's mind. That's in my... You had a great way of saying it. There's the perceived state and the actual state.
Oh, yeah. I learned that in one of my business courses. So it's like the actual state is where you are right now.
Yeah, so actual state society.
Yeah, so it's the actual state of society, where you are and where your placement is. And then there's the perceived state of like what people see you as.
Oh.
Right? Yeah, so I mean, there's that, and there's also the... actual state and then the future state of like where you want to be.
Okay.
But
I got the terms wrong there. I thought perceived state was like how you perceive things. And then actual state is how things actually are.
I think there's something like that too though.
Yeah, I mean, but you know you know what I'm saying. There's some sort of disconnect between how you interpret the world and how the world actually is, right? And that's what causes issues for a lot of people, especially like when you look at like what we call someone who is, what is that word they use? Not disillusioned. What's that word when someone's like, yo, this person they don't get it. They're
self-awareness.
No. It starts with a D.
Delusional?
Delusional. Yeah, delusional.
you said the root word. You said disillusional or something like that. I was like,
disillusioned.
Yeah, disillusioned. I was like, does this nigga not see? He just said the word just in a different way. Just eliminates a few consonants. You got it.
Yeah, but when we say someone's like disillusioned, right? Like all it means is that how they perceive reality and how reality actually functions, there's a disconnect between it, right? And sometimes that's fine because dreamers have the same thing.
Yeah.
When you dream of something and you have these ambitions and goals and aspirations, your perceptions about what things are and especially what's possible is very different from what actually is, right? And it's only when you achieve it that you're called a dreamer instead of a crazy person, But going back to the clothing and the representation, especially as, what someone like in the manosphere they would classify as high value men, just because you're desired for certain characteristics doesn't mean that people are going to recognize those characteristics if they don't take the time to do so. If you present yourself, for instance, as homeless and you have $10 million in the bank and you're a great individual, you're well traveled and well read, and you're humble and whatever, and you're doing some self-psychological experiment, and that's why you're presenting yourself as homeless, and you're choosing to live that for a year, cool. You can do that and have that amazing life, but know that for that year, the way that you presented yourself is the way that you're going to be received. So unless anyone else has a glimpse at your holistic self rather than your perceptual self that you're giving off to people, then you shouldn't be upset that you're not receiving what you feel like is due to you. And that's a very long way of basically saying that if you're on your grind and you're hustling and you're doing everything that you can, but you're presenting yourself as a bum, you should expect to not attract as high like quality partners, friendships, relationships, whatever, as possible.
All that.
Because you're not putting out there everything that you actually are.
Mm. Okay. Yeah. I think the big takeaway and something that I am going to implement of myself, and I'm glad that, because the thing is, right, I think a lot of dudes have friends who don't challenge them in their insecurities and their fears, or even the way they think or the things they value. If someone in general, regardless if it's a man or a woman, doesn't challenge you on your thoughts and how you perceive things, those aren't your friends. 100%. So I've been meaning to honestly like change my wardrobe. I honestly like fucking hate it. It's just because being the youngest child, it's kind of like hand-me-downs. I'm just like, I'm wearing whatever I have. Yeah, bro, these shorts, hold up. These shorts,
those are mine,
are his from when he was in high school, and they still fit me. But like, still, you know, it's still like,
I was a big boy.
They're cool. They pretty snug. You know what I'm saying? But like, regardless, like, I'm 22. I'm about to graduate. I think it's time for me to explore my style of clothing and how I want to present myself. Because not only being a music artist, but in these other avenues that I want to accomplish, I can't present myself in a manner as like, oh, I don't care how I look. Because I do. I care about how I look and how, like, you know what I'm saying, how I feel. But if I can consistently decide to choose bummy, that means I consistently feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel about myself. But it's like, no, I feel great about myself. And I need that to reflect not only with the clothing, but as well as the walk, as how I greet people, you know, things like that.
Yeah, I don't want the emphasis to be on like
clothing.
Clothing, yeah. Like it's not the Emperor's New Clothes. No. Yeah. It's not the clothes, right? But it's the ritual behind it.
Yeah.
It's the fact that, yo, it doesn't take much to put on sweatpants and some holes with socks in the bottom of them. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I can't find anything like these anymore.
My nigga, I got like 20 pairs of socks.
Yeah,
you want one?
Those are just socks. Like, they're not like these. You know what I'm saying? I can't.
The cotton.
100% cotton. I ordered them. If you remember, I ordered like 6 pairs from the same website. And they changed how they manufacture them, so they're not the same quality anymore. So I'm riding these till they die. But anyways, it's not the clothes. It's the ritual behind them, man. It's not the fact that like we said, it's not the fact that you're wearing a suit. You can put on a suit and look whack. That has nothing. It's not about that. It's the fact that when you wake up in the morning, right, and I put on my t-shirt and shorts, it's the mentality of, all right, I'm about to go out and grind and hustle, and I'm gonna work hard today. So I'm dressed like I'm going to the gym, because just like I'm about to like lift weights at the gym, I'm about to lift these weights emotionally. I'm about to lift these weights, whatever. Like, I'm about to push all this bullshit aside. Like, that's how I look at it. So how I dress for, like, how I'm about to go into battle. So I'm gonna dress for battle. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. At the same time, like we were saying though, when you do wake up and you go take a shower, instead of just put on clothes, because the thing is, I don't need to take a shower because I have in my head I'm about to go work out.
Yeah.
So why would I take a shower? But if you wake up and it's like, yo, let me go take a shower and actually put on clothes like that I prepared. You know what I'm saying? It gives you a different mentality. Like, you walk outside and you're like, I know I look good, and it has nothing to do with what I'm wearing. It has to do with the fact that I chose to wear it. You know what I'm saying? It's like when people wear a suit every day for work because they have to wear it, there's no swag with it. But when they choose to wear that suit on Saturday, that's why niggas who wear suits Monday through Friday, they don't wear suits on Saturday.
Yeah, they be like chilling with the polo. And
they just, exactly. They dress down and they look like normal, everyday, whatever people, right? But when you in your everyday normal self, and then on Friday night, you're like, all right, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna rock this suit, or I'm gonna rock this nice button down or whatever. All right, cool. You know, the thing is, a lot of men, they feel like it's inauthentic. They feel like it's not them. Oh, you know, that's not my style. That's not whatever. And the reality is like, anything's your style. Like, your style is what you're comfortable in.
Yeah,
you know, your style.
I was gonna say like
yeah.
you should accept all styles of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a style of me that's bummy. There's a style of me that's I want to suit up, goot up, you know, boot up. Niggas iffy. Oh, look, he got the sticky. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
like, you know, suit up. And then there's other ones where it's like right in the middle, and there's like other gray areas, and all of those are me. You know, and I think I also understand though, and I empathize with it's like, oh, that's not really me. That's not, but it's like, is that what it really is? Like when they say, oh, it's not really me, or is this something that you're not comfortable with? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you not comfortable wearing a button down on a Thursday, random Thursday, right? Or are you not comfortable wearing these certain types of shoes? You know, like not necessarily the brand, but like dress shoes. You know, going somewhere out to with your friends or something like that. Do you feel uncomfortable doing that? And I think that's a genuine question that I myself have to ask myself, and I think other men should ask themselves as well, because we're all about like. Evolving mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all the regions all together. And I think that the physical as well is something that sometimes isn't, I mean, it's stressed about, but I feel like there's not really a discussion where it's like, this is the reason why you probably should.
I really want to get, if possible, like Neil to come on the podcast.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Neil since you were in high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, but, you know, he's, for me, was the one who, like, when I was in high school, made me realize, like, hey, this is an important part about yourself that you need to, like, put care and effort into, just like you're putting care and effort into all these other parts of your life. Yeah. And as I grew, I mean, and, like, you know, obviously I went to college, he went to a different school, so
yeah,
there's some things that, you know, I reverted to in certain ways and grew from in certain ways and whatever. And the end result is, you know, today where it's I dress 100% for comfort with the knowledge that I'm sabotaging myself in a lot of aspects. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing, is I'm at least honest with myself about it.
That's some vulnerability that a lot of the dudes don't like.
Bro, I know. Here's the thing.
You know what I'm saying?
I know, because here's the thing, right? I don't like the expectations that a lot of men have on, I'm going to use specifically women, you know, because we're talking about appearances and how you present yourself. I don't like the expectations that a lot of men have on women, because the way that I look at it, why would a woman be attracted to me if I didn't present myself well? You know, why would I want a woman who is attracted to people who don't present themselves well? The reason that a woman's attracted to someone who presents themselves well is because that presentation is a representation, supposedly, of who you are as an individual. So when she sees you, a well put together guy, at 12 o'clock in the middle of the day on a Tuesday, grabbing a coffee, she says to herself, well, he's wealthy enough to be drinking coffee casually at 12 o'clock. He's dressed nice. It's Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? She's able to it's just on a conscious level. These are all subconscious signals to her that, hey, this is a good looking guy. You know, in the same way that, yeah, you can also be free at 12 o'clock, but it's called being a bum because you chilling on the corner, you got sweatpants on, you smoking a joint, you just blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, you're not presenting yourself in the best possible way. So when I think about what sort of woman, you know what I'm saying, would be attracted to what sort of man, why would I blame them? Just in the same way that, like, if a woman is dressed in sweatpants, she could be beautiful, right? And that's the thing, is that you can spot a good-looking woman in poor clothes.
Sweatpants, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on.
They think a lot of times they're like, oh, you know, if I don't wear my makeup, I put on my sweatpants and whatever. It's like, nah, shawty, I could tell you gorgeous,
beautiful,
like you're beautiful, like right. But they're doing the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? Where they're most of the time on purpose, like self-sabotaging because they don't want the attention. But that woman also, or any woman who isn't getting the attention that they want, for instance, and I'm not saying dress unmodestly, or what I'm saying is that if you're receiving not that much attention and you're wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt all day long, running back and forth in between class, you know, looking like you're stressed and you got on headphones in and whatever, yeah, no nigga's gonna want to talk to you. It's not about like, do they want to?
Or no girl in general.
Well, I was describing a woman.
Wait, okay, gotcha.
Although you can, you be attracted to it, I don't care, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's as it is. Like, it's about the initial attraction, because yes, 95% of women will be attracted to me if they sit down for a 5-minute conversation. The difficulty is that majority of women I meet aren't going to sit down with me for a 5-minute conversation. The majority of women I meet are just going to pass by me at the gym, are going to just pass by me at the street, just going to pass by me at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
So in those moments, how are you presenting yourself so that they all would be willing to sit down with you and fall into that 95% category?
Yeah, I also want to reiterate for everyone that's listening that we're not saying that the clothes matter, right? Because, you know, when you give the example of like, oh, it's Tuesday and he has a suit and he's drinking coffee, right? A lot of people can be doing that, right? And a woman might like approach the dude and like talk to him, but then in the first 30 seconds, immediately sees him as a chump, right? I know a lot of dudes who look mad fancy, right? They get all the girls, but that's only because of their physical appearance, how they show themselves, right? But their substance itself has no value whatsoever. But some girls, not all girls, but some girls are like, oh, I don't really care about that. I just want the physical things, right? Which is that happens. But I think it's important to have both of what you have. You know, you need to have great substance. You need to have a great character, be a great individual, have these qualities about yourself, but also have that front cover of your book look amazing. Because it's similar to like music, it's similar to books, it's similar to a lot of things. Even like a presentation at school.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
right?
anything you're presenting.
Anything you're presenting in general, right? The first 30 seconds when they're reading it or when they're watching it or they're listening to it is the synopsis of who you are as a person. Unfortunately, right? We all want to act like, oh no, but the personality matters. Okay, yeah, but when you're walking down the street, you're not like, damn, bro, like
Shawty had a fat personality.
Personality. Yo, that man, he is so loyal. I can just tell. It's just like, no, like, you know.
Look at his beard. He must be so loyal.
Yeah. Like it's okay to glance at the physical. That's what you first see. It's more so how much are you indulging into the physical, right? Because like you can see the physical and admire it, right? And it's so much what we talked about. You can admire it, but if you're indulging too much into it, you're leaving out the concepts and the ideas of the book itself. So it's like cover arts or music, right? When you're on Spotify or when you're on Apple Music or when you're on, you know, Instagram, whatever it is, and you see someone post something, right? And they post their cover art, the reason why certain music artists' cover arts look like crazy, you're like, whoa, right? Is because that's your first impression of the album or the single, right? And that's the first thing people see. So when the first thing people see is something great, they're gonna tap in. They're like, oh, let me hear this song, because that's your first perception. But if I decided to make like the worst, like SoundCloud type beat cover art where it's like just trash, everyone's like, the fuck is this? I don't. That's the reason why the algorithm for Instagram and Twitter and Facebook are changing. They want better content for the viewers, and that's their first impression. That's why when someone scrolls on your Instagram, whatever, it's called impressions for a reason. That's a bar. Oh, that's a bar, nigga. What the hell? Oh, yeah, I'm going to write that down.
We're talking a lot about first impressions.
Yeah.
I want to, in like appearances and perceptions, I want to jump to the end. Okay? It's a change of topic.
Yeah.
Instead of the way in which someone perceives you, like I said, I kind of want to change it completely.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a situation where you and someone you were dating or had been seeing or whatever broke up?
Yeah.
And they asked for feedback?
About the relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not necessarily feedback, but maybe like I think I've dated girls before, and then like there'd be a period where obviously like we're not talking, we're just both trying to do our own thing, and it, like, mind you, this isn't like a screw you know. It was just more so like, yo, like we have a disagreement, we disagree on something, so we're just gonna part ways, take time, whatever, and then maybe a month or two later come back and then discuss like, all right, well, this is what I did wrong, you know, and then this is what this person did wrong, and then it gives you more of a insight of the relationship. I think that's the only really like feedback I guess I've ever had with the relationship. But I've never had it where it's like, so how would you rate the overall relationship from 1 to 5? You know, it's like I've never had that.
Yeah. I had a chick recently kind of asked for feedback.
Is it?
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
We don't disclose names.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was someone else. And she had asked for feedback. And I never give feedback, especially given the context of our relationship. Like, I had gone out with this girl 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So at that point in the relationship, I don't feel like I necessarily owe you feedback. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I had dated you for 3 months, 6 months, whatever, like I feel like I'd be more open to, you know, discussing it, because what we invested into, like, and what we built was obviously different than 3 dates. I barely know you, right?
Yeah.
So it was funny for me because I realized I'm never gonna do this shit again because it's crazy because I thought it was genuine. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I had asked, because I thought it was genuine, and she said, "I'm genuinely interested. Like, you know, what happened, or you know, I'm gonna put my." She said, "I'm gonna put my emotions to the side. Like, I'm genuinely interested." And very quickly, very quickly, I realized that the conversation had nothing to do with, you know, her being very interested in finding out why. It was just an opportunity for her to emotionally dump kind of everything that she had left over.
And this is after 3 dates?
Yes. Well, she remember that D word we used earlier?
Delusion.
Yeah, she's delusional, to be completely honest with you. And there's a lot of different factors, a lot of things that we talk about actually that came up in this. And it was just it's all happened yesterday. So it was just a very interesting what?
I forgot that, like, it might have been like 2 weeks ago, like, you showed me some people that you were interested in. So now in my head I'm like, we can talk about this later obviously, but I'm trying to think like who was this? But
there's one that
I have a good feeling I know who it is.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's probably that one.
Yeah. But that's what's crazy. I've never experienced something like that. At the same time, though, like, for me, I think the most dates I've been on, like consistently with someone, I think 3 was the max. But even then, like, there wasn't really a feedback kind of thing. It was just kind of like we both agreed, like, all right, like, you know.
Yeah, and the thing is that I could understand feedback if I broke up with her. Like, if I was like, hey, like, I don't see this working, you know. The crazy thing is that she told me I don't see this work, right? And this is why I said the D word, bro, delusional, because, like, when you read back over our messages and stuff, like, it honestly angers me a lot because I put a lot of thought and effort into giving her, like, these responses, you know what I'm saying? To tell her, like, kind of what happened, and to tell you kind of what happened, and to tell the audience, because I know they're like, Luffy, tell us some details.
Tell us the gossip.
Basically, right, I went out with the girl. We had a good time. The first 2 dates were casual. We just got coffee. We went out, walking, whatever. Yeah. 3rd date, we actually, like, went out on an actual date. And actual date, like, we went to go eat, basically.
Gotcha.
And it was a good time still. Like, there was nothing wrong with that. At the end of it, even still, I was like, yo, let's hang out, like, another time, whatever. But obviously I'm busy because, like, you know, especially right now, I'm working on 3 different projects.
Yeah, you're a busy man.
Yeah. So the next day, we were supposed to, like, hang out, but not really. Like, basically, like, I had asked to hang out the following week, and she was like, oh, it's too far in the future. Are you free any other time? Every day I was suggesting in between. Then I was like, there's no other day besides tomorrow. Like, she's like, all right, let's hang out tomorrow. I was like, all right. Like,
Wait. She said 1 week from now is too far in the future?
Nah. We went out on a Tuesday, right? And I was like, let's hang out this weekend, right? Like, on like a Saturday or Sunday or something. And she was like, nah, like, my mom's coming into town. I was like, okay, cool. Let's hang out next week, like, in about a week or so. Like, we can hang out, or maybe even next weekend, like 10 days, a week to 10 days, something like She was like, nah, like, let's hang out before. And I was like, all right, so how about Friday? Nah, she's busy Friday, Thursday. All right, nah, she's busy Thursday. The only other day is tomorrow. She's like, hold on. This is when I should have started to like that. That's almost like a flagrant one. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even flagrant. I'll just throw a technical
Technical foul.
Yeah, just technical foul. Right. But here's the thing: is like I know that the way my schedule goes, right, is that if I hang out with you today and tomorrow, and this is the beginning of our relationship, it's not just about the fact it's beginning of our relationship. Just my schedule goes. If we hang out today and tomorrow, I'm probably not going to see you for like another 10 days.
Just because it's like, I mean, I'm just gonna guess that it's like sometimes hanging out with one person for too long can make you feel like I need some space to do my own thing. Is that where it's coming from?
That's partially it.
Mm-hmm.
But the bigger reason is that early on in a relationship, my work is way more important than our relationship.
That's
you know what I'm saying? And even when I'm in a relationship, like in my last relationship with her, even then, it's not like we would go, like I would purposefully go 2 weeks without seeing her. But like, if I'm trying my hardest, I'm probably going to see you about twice a week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I have other stuff.
Things to do.
Yeah, I have other stuff going on. And honestly, you should too. Like, you know, like, yeah. So it's like, if I see you today and tomorrow, I'm not like saying like, oh, you know, I'll never want to hang out with you more than one. No, but like, just off of my past experience, it's probably going to be about a week before I'm free again, because I had to make concessions for me to hang out with you, obviously. And I have work to do and shit.
Yeah.
The point being, right? Shadi basically was like, she hit me up not Tuesday, the next day, Wednesday. Okay. I was busy. I was running around all day, whatever.
Yeah.
I hit her back. I was like, hey, I'm sorry. We can't hang out today. Like, I'm busy. And she's like, all right, like, I figured, whatever. That night, she texts me and she's like, hey, yeah, you know, I really like you, but you're way too unavailable for me. And so like, it's not going to work. Right. And she's like, it's too challenging. And so like, when I woke up in the morning, I saw the message and I was like, all right. So I texted her. I was like, all right. Like, because that's fair. Like, you know, you see me for who I am, and you know that doesn't work with you. So the reasonable thing to do is each person goes their own way. Like, no hard feelings, right? Yeah. I did not feel any sort of way about it. I was just like, all right, like, she texts me back. She's like, ouch. And that's when all the shit just goes downhill from there. And yeah, you know who I'm talking about now. I know, yeah, exactly. See,
I know. Number one, I know who it is.
Yeah.
Number two, it was just her response, right? So
exactly, bro.
That's where it's getting me, right? Where it's like
exactly.
Now it wasn't only like the like, oh, like I can't do this, and she wanted to see you tomorrow. And it's like,
yeah, it's fine.
That's fine. You know, I get that little technical foul, but okay.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like
everybody personal fouls from time to time.
Yeah, and then it's like when she admitted to being like, hey, and mind you, like she's 100% like valid to say like, hey, I think that I'm not able to do this because
these messages were sent less than 12 hours apart.
I know, right? But it's like that's fine, right? And you said, all right, that's cool, right? But what she wanted you to say was like,
I know.
Well, how can we make this work?
I know.
Well, how can we do it?
But and this is my big thing where I was going into this illusion thing is like, golly,
Luffy's a big stepper.
What? Nah, bro. But listen, I complete, because 15 minutes after she sent another thing. She was like, hey, you know, it wasn't really an ultimatum. I was just asking, probing to see like if things would ever change. See, bro, look.
She wasn't asking anything. She told you.
Bro. And it's not even that, right? What she doesn't realize is that, so I didn't respond to that either, because I'm like, bro, she doesn't even realize that your way of thinking lets me know you're not ready to date a nigga like me.
Yeah.
Just the way you think. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with, like, you know, you want to backtrack on what you said in less than 12 hours based off of my response because I agreed with you. That in and of itself, you know what I'm saying? But like, there were so many layers to this stuff, because eventually she texted me like days after that conversation. Because remember, I didn't respond. So then a couple of days after that, 2-3 days, whatever. Like after that, she like hits me up again. She's like, hey, doesn't say anything else. She just says, hey. And I'm like, bro, like, this is the type of chick who's gonna keep popping up, like keep whatever until until she forces me to become an asshole. right? Because, and this is something, unfortunately, that I found, is that no matter what, and no matter how you begin or what steps you take or whatever, at the end of the day, 95% of the time, you're going to be painted as the asshole. Because it doesn't matter.
Preach, brother.
It doesn't matter what actually happens. What actually matters is how they need to feel. They need to feel like you're an asshole so that they can push past you. Because if they, it's hard. I realize that it's hard for a lot of people to realize that, hey, we're two good people who aren't good together. And that's something that I realized at some point in my life. Like when I got over my heartbreaks and shit like that, I was like, oh, I can be a good person and they could be a good person, but we could just not be good for each other. And I don't have to force someone to change, and they don't have to force me to change. They can change to acquiesce to how I roll, and I can compromise on certain things. But at the end of the day, like, if you're completely healthy, wealthy, wise, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're whole and complete at the way you are, and I reject the way you are, I'm not gonna change you.
Yeah.
I'm not God. I'm not your mom. I'm not your dad.
Stop trying to be God.
Yeah, I'm just someone who you've only gone out with 1, 2, 3 times. So like, why does, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I'm talking to my friends. I'm like, guys, like, and they're like, bro, like, if you trying to smash, like, go ahead and hit her back. But other than that, like, you know, don't. And so I was like, bro, like, you know, when she sent me the hey stuff, I was like, listen, I'm just gonna send her like very short, just let her know, like, I was like, hey, we're, you know, you're cool people, we're not compatible. Real short, brief, to the point. Then she's like, hey, you know, she's like, I appreciate the honesty. You know, then she's like, I'm genuinely interested. Like, you know, why? You know, or can you give me some feedback or whatever, right? And this is where, like I said, it's just kept going downhill, because I honestly spent a lot of time thinking of how to craft the answer, right?
There's no proper way to craft the answer.
There's no proper way, because when I told her the answer, you know what she did? She didn't even read it. I swear to God, Ahmed, I spent almost 2 hours. Almost 2 hours. I just sent 4 sentences. It was only 4 sentences that I sent over the span of like 2 hours. Okay? Like, I was thinking about how to word this correctly, where it was like,
man,
how can I say this and that, whatever.
Yeah.
And I ended up telling her, because the way she even said it was so, she didn't realize how, like, bro, just the way she asked the question about the feedback let me know, like, so she's so hurt, and like, so not from me. She's just a broken individual, and not like in that way where we be joking on people, but like as in like, yo, you need to go to therapy, because there's some shit you don't even realize that you're saying. You know what I'm saying? She literally was like, why am I not good enough for a relationship with you? That's what she, like, how she phrased it, or like, or anything else. And I was like, bro, it's not about good enough. It's good or not. Like, are you good for me, or are you not? And you're not. Like, and she wanted me to, like I said, to become the asshole and break down like why she's not fit enough to be my girlfriend. But I wasn't gonna do that. Like, eventually I had to tell her, like, literally just stop texting me. I was like, stop, because she just kept. She wouldn't accept the answer. I was like, listen, I wrote.
Like, you give the answer, and then they're like, but that's not it. And it's like, this is the. I'm telling you.
I gave her the
straight up.
Like I said, I gave her
Travis
the
Scott,
answer.
but this is the answer.
I gave her the answer, and her response was basically, "Cool, but why can I accept you and you can't accept me? And I apologize for what I said and take it back." And I was like, "Shoddy."
Just to really say, shoddy.
Bro, I was like, she doesn't get it. And like, it was so obvious to me. And it was hard too, because I realized, like, a girl like this, like, unless I really, really be an asshole to her, she's really not gonna get it. Right. And what it ultimately is that she's never dated a guy like me before.
Yeah.
You know, and like, I was trying to find out how to say it with humility. You know what I'm saying? Like, with like being honest. Like, and I never ended up actually, because I kept writing it over and over in my notes, and I was like, I can't say that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just too damaging to you as an individual. And I just kept thinking, like, bro, it's just better if this is why people don't say anything a lot of times. Because when you ask for genuine feedback on stuff and we try to provide it, you just go into an emotional dump. And my emotional dump, I mean, like, she's just dumping her emotions on me rather than logically processing, like,
And formulating it and trying to understand.
And like what it is that I said to her. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, and I told her, I was like, listen, the way you phrase your question in and of itself lets me know that we're not compatible, you know? And like, it's just obvious. Cause like you said, like you read the situation just like I did from way before where she's like, oh, she wanted you to do this, this and that. But I'm not the type of guy to do that because the girls that I date coalesce to me.
Yeah.
My schedule, because my schedule, like the way I look at things is it's the biblical order. Okay. It's God, it's man, it's woman, child. So I follow in God's command and the woman's following in my vision. So it's my schedule. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my purpose. I'm following in God's commandment to provide for everyone. I'm working all the time. Your issue is that the people you've dated before, they weren't doing that. They weren't on their purpose. They weren't grinding all the time, whatever. They were, no disrespect, and it's not about the money, but they were, you know, making $15 an hour, working at Lowe's, working at, you know, here or there, you know, making 30, 40, maybe 50, whatever, $1,000 a year. No disrespect. That's a normal guy. And normal guys, sure, they will emotionally respond to, you know, the things you're saying. She's a beautiful woman too. So like, I completely get how you can play those cards and those strings and whatever. But at the end of the day, like I said, is that I know for a fact you've never dated a man like me because it's not, you don't even bring up stuff like that because if you know the position that I'm in, you know that you fall in line with what I'm doing. It's not, I'm gonna sit here. Like basically what it comes down, like I said, without being an asshole and with trying to be as much humility as possible, I spent over 3 years, you know this, like building my business. Yeah. I went on 3 dates with this girl. Who am I gonna pick?
Yeah.
It's that simple. Yeah. It's literally that simple.
I want to clarify for the audience because I remember when you said like the godly order is like God, man, woman, child. I don't want people to think that's like, oh, a man's above a woman. Da, da, da. Like, you know how like when we talked about the it was someone on The View or something like that. She said like she'll submit to who was the rapper?
Oh, Jeannie Mai, and they got married, Jeezy.
Yeah, and Jeezy, right?
They ended up getting married like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, mashallah, right? And it's like a lot of people at first were like, what do you mean you'll submit to him? And, you know, things like, and it's not about who's better than the other, right? It's more so like, and I understand completely because I'm the same way as you. You have a real estate business. I'm doing music. So it's like, for me, it's like, yo, this is my number one priority over everything. I've had multiple girls ask me, like, and they'll ask me, like, so you would pick your music career over me? I'm like, yes.
Without a second doubt. That's how it's so easy for me to text you, okay, because I'm not changing shit.
Yeah, and like...
you know what I gave up for this?
Yeah, exactly. I gave up, like, friends. I gave up my time. I gave up a lot of things I can't get back. And I'm going in such a positive direction. I'm not about to let this one nuance or thing that's trying to infiltrate, you know, like infiltrate my kingdom in a way, right? So it's like I said, I don't want it to be seen as like a man is better than a woman because a woman can have the same things as a man, right? She can have that kingdom, she can have that money, the job, that purpose, that drive, right? But when a couple is together, right, oftentimes the woman will like co-lead with the man because the man like has like he has a masculine essence of this is his drive, this is his purpose, this is where he's going to do. And that conversation in itself can be controversial because like I said, it can be seen as like, well, why does a woman have to submit or why does, you know, and I don't want that to be the case. It's just that as a natural thing, it's like your man, not your man, but like the man is on his purpose and on his drive and what he's doing. He's not going to submit to what you always want. You can compromise. 100%, you can always compromise, but to fully submit into her, it defeats your whole like direction of where you want to go. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing that a lot of them don't realize, and here's where the disillusion comes in, is that you like me for who I am. Yeah. Meaning that you liked me, like the reason she likes me, right? If we're being more practical and whatever with it, not just theoretically. The reason that she liked me is because I had built this business and I had built myself up to a certain point and whatever. So why would she think that I would so easily push that aside for her? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they don't realize a lot of time is like, if you like someone for being an athlete, right? For instance, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm dating an NFL player. And then you break up with him because he has to wake up and train at 6:30 in the morning on Saturdays. It's like, you liked him because he was an NFL player. Like this is
like you signed up for this.
Yeah, like this is it. Like this is what it is. Like that's how he got those muscles and got the contract and whatever. It's because he woke up and was training at 6:30 in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
I think what it is that it's the concept, not the actual reality. So something we said earlier is like perceived state and the actual state.
Oh yeah,
right. So it goes back to that where it's like not necessarily relationships, but a lot of girls were either interested or there'd be situationships because of the image of he's a music artist and he's getting a lot of what is it called?
Clout.
I don't even really say clout, but just more so like attention. There we go. Like he's getting a lot more attention now, all these things. So there's an image of like, okay, this dude is going towards a successful direction and I trust what he's doing, right? And that's okay. I think what they sometimes, I don't think this is all women, by the way. I think this is just sometimes with some women, they negate the actual state of like what it's actually like to be a music artist, right? Like there's gonna be times where I'm gonna be locked in the studio all day and I won't have time to days, like Z, you know what I'm saying? Like multiple and locked in the studio recording songs and I don't have time to, go out on a date right now or like FaceTime you for hours, maybe like a quick 30-minute conversation just to catch up, whatever it is, but I won't have a lot of time to spend with you. And I think with some women, please, I swear, don't like come in the comments, be like, oh, you guys are misogynistic. Shut up. But like, sometimes they want all of your time, right? And sometimes some women, when they see that they aren't your main priority, they get scared of that. Because other dudes were putting them as number one kind of thing.
Yeah, but that's the thing is that any woman who's worth her salt, like any woman who really has been around men who are doing shit, knows that they're not number one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be number one. Like, the only dude who's going to put you number one is a loser.
That's actually in a way of the superior man.
Oh, really?
It says don't put your woman first. Because it's like, let's say, for instance, back then, right, when they would draft men to the war, right? And like the woman would be like, please don't go. Like they're crying, like, don't go. And the guy's like, I have to do this, right? If the guy decided, like, he's like, you know what? Just shoots himself in the foot. He's like, oh, I'm disabled now. He's like, I'm going to stay here with you, honey. She would internally resent him because there is like, it's like, well, why would you not go to something that fills your purpose and stay here with me? And like I said, there's nothing wrong with staying with your woman and like taking care. And I think taking care of the household and things like that are essential things that both partners should do. What I'm saying is if there is an opportunity for you to drive to your purpose and you're not doing it and you decide, you know what, screw my purpose, this is my woman. She's not attracted to you anymore, bro. Like that's the thing is that you have to delegate time, quality time, like genuine quality time. It's like, would you rather, this isn't to all women, just to some girls. It's like, would you rather have all of his time or maybe an hour of genuine quality time? There's no phones, there's nothing, but like he's locked in with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's something that there's a conversation that needs to be had.
Yeah, and this is the thing is almost everyone would rather the second option.
Yeah.
But a lot of people lie to themselves and say the first option when the reality is that they settle for the first option because they can't get the second option.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of women don't, like I said, they don't qualify. A lot of women aren't able to date men like me and you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even this chick, like I remember on our first date, like first time hanging out with her, like we were out, I remember if we were on a walk or something like that. And she was like, her dream is like to be a housewife and like she doesn't have to work and like she can raise the kids and cook dinner and like pack lunches and stuff like that. And I was like, cool. Like that's not I don't care. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because in my mind, I mean, I make more than enough money to provide for me and whoever I'm dating. So if you want to work or not, that's your choice when you're dating me. But that's not your choice when you're dating 95% of other men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when you're dating 95% of other men, if you want to live according to your standards, you're going to have to work.
Yeah.
You know? So like, they resent their men slightly for not the fact that they're working, but that they have to work.
Yeah.
In the same way that they don't resent their men for, when you said the war scenario, it wasn't like she resents him for going off. She actually resents the fact she looks at him is like, yo, how come all the other men in the village went off to fight, and you the punk ass bitch
that decided to stay
here?
Yeah,
and like, so with all the other women. And are you a bitch? Am I dating a woman? Like,
and that's what I wanted to reiterate is that like it's damn, what I was gonna say. It's like when you were just talking about how like she wants to be like a housewife, whatever. That is perfectly okay. You can be a
Stop shaming housewives, y'all. Stop shaming to all the feminists out there. Stop shaming housewives. You guys are ruining this shit for us.
No, like to be honest, like for me, right? What I want is like, yo, you can literally do whatever the fuck you want to do. You can be a housewife. You can be you know, go into your profession. You can be a doctor. You can do all of these things and I will support you 100% fully. What I want though at the same time is that you don't have to work. You want to work. Because if in the instance, right, some like you get pregnant, whatever it is, I don't want to make you feel like or have it where like you have to work. No, you can relax, you can chill, you can do what you need to do to spread love through our family, right? And like I said, we can both make money, but I'm here to provide for all of us, so that way you don't have to worry about it. And that's the boss shit that we were talking about, where like that's the 5% of dudes. The 95% of it is like you both have to work. And then you both have resentment towards each other, and that's something I don't want to have with my relationships.
Mm-hmm. Because your woman's not fully submitting to you, but she has good reason not to. It's because you're not fully a man and taking care of her like she needs you to take care of her.
And
that's the reality.
And before, like we have
niggas step up. Sorry,
no, you're good. We have like 9 minutes, and before anything, I already know like when this episode rolls out, there's gonna be a lot of women that are gonna try to poke at our concepts and our ideas of what it is to be a man. And I know, but my rebuttal is that men understand men, but men understand men more than if a man tries to understand a woman. Because men have a masculine essence and they understand each other's like mental waves more than a woman does. And it's not to be like, oh, you never will understand, but it's like these are different things that we go through, and that these are the things that we have to have. Like that's the thing. Like a lot of girls would argue right now and be like, no, that's not right. That's not right. It's like, oh, you word? Put it to the test. Yeah, let's see what happens.
Oh, bro,
let's see what happens.
Anyone who disagrees with like the shit that we're talking about, to be completely fair with you, they're either dating a loser, you know, and that they don't want to admit it. They probably want to date one of us. Like it's always some projection of some, and because it goes against. And then when you really boil down to it, they're just like, I just don't like the way you said it. That's what they're gonna say at the end. I just don't like the way you said it. If they didn't disagree with what we said,
there's gonna be a lot of things I said that they don't fucking like.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the thing, though. Is like at the end of the day, right? If your only disagreement with me is you don't like the way that I said something, I'm completely fine with it. Because my mission, why God brought us here, is to spread a message, right? So I'm gonna spread that message, and it's gonna hit some ears, and it's gonna fall on others' deaf, and that's completely fine. Because if it hits those ears, cool. If it rubs you the wrong way, but you got the message, cool. It doesn't matter. The matters is I delivered the message, and the message is the truth. We got to tell people the truth. Once you know, right? That's the thing that you know that makes you different from all the other men. That's what makes you in the top 5% of men, is the fact that you know that when you see something in your life, right? When Ahmed says, "Hey, I noticed that when I eat healthy, I feel better," and women do that. When Ahmed realizes a truth in his life, he implements it and he does it. And that's why he continues to grow and develop as a better human being. And his music career is moving, and all the other aspects of his life are moving forward. All right. Those women, they could disagree with it all they want. But at the end of the day, like you said, put it to the test. Show me your dating history. Show me the dudes that you've been dating. Show me the conversations with men. Show me, like, you're over here, like, you want to disagree with me, but every dude, you've never even dated the dude making over $100,000 a year. And we're just being complete. We're only talking about $100,000. We're not even talking about like real, quote unquote, real money. You know what I'm saying? And you act like you have a perception of how men think. Get the fuck out of here. You're wrong. Like, you're just, I don't care. Bro, yeah, we need the soundboard. I'm coming for all the smoke.
I'm coming. Said, pull up, nigga.
Yeah, pull up. Pull up, because, like I said, pull up because they probably want to date us. That's the truth. I'm being 100% real. Majority of women that I meet who are aggressive towards me and apprehensive towards me, the only reason that they're apprehensive and aggressive, whatever, towards me at first is because they like me. The only reason that they come with that energy where they're like, oh, how can you blah, blah, blah? It's because they never had the audacity of having a man sit there and challenge them. It's because the men in their life are bitches to them. The men in their life let them say that shit and don't call them out on certain stuff. But when I'm out with someone and they say something, like, I say stuff. You know what I'm saying? Be like, how can you say that or whatever? Now, granted, this has led me to having 0 female friends, but I'm completely content with that because I don't believe in it anyways.
I mean, we can agree to disagree on that certain thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I have a lot of women friends that, like, I can admit they're physically attractive, but I'm not attracted to them. So it's like...
Attracted in which sense, though?
Attracted as in I want to get with them.
What do you mean by get with them? Get with them, do you mean like relationship, or are you saying like...
Both.
So you're saying that there's an attractive woman, right? That, like, if you had the opportunity to, and no one was gonna know.
No.
Why?
Because for me, don't get me wrong, like I said, someone can be physically attractive, and I can see what they mean when it's like, oh yeah, she's so bad, I would smash it up. I get it. Right, but just because of like my connection with them and how I see them, I don't really have that feeling.
No, you don't have the feeling necessarily. But I'm saying like because of some, I understand from some emotional, like in the same way that like for instance, right, people, it's the exact same thing. So don't, I know people will be like, oh. My sister, right? Why? Okay. She's like, I can see how other people see her as attractive, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not sexually attracted to her at all, right?
Good. Weird. Okay.
And so I can understand it to an extent, right? But there's really only like 1, maybe 2 or so like women that I can think of that like are sort of in my social circle. They're not really, but like they're sort of in my social circle. And even them, it's like I said, given certain conditions, right? Like if both of us were sworn to secrecy, if no one was ever going to find out, if this had no bearing, impact, reflection on our relationship, whatever.
That's fair. I just think
I probably would.
Then those are fair, but those circumstances are like really like.
Oh, I'm not.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying. Well, here's my thing though, is that I'm not saying that that's a real situation because that's not like. Of course, when people are gonna talk and someone's gonna find out, and those things can hold you back. Just like there's things that hold me back. There's other people that I wouldn't have sex with too that aren't my sister.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that like.
Wait.
What?
You said there's a lot of people I wouldn't have sex with that aren't my sister.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I know there's 2 negatives, but that doesn't make it a positive statement.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that I would not have sex with. Oh, wait. Maybe you are right.
Yeah.
Maybe you are right. Or maybe I did say it wrong. Okay. So there's a lot of people, including my sister, right? There's a lot of people who aren't just my sister.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah, who aren't just...
No. Including my sister that I would not have sex with.
I think that's grammatically correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't want the audience... Yeah, because that was weird. But no, I mean, I understand where you're coming from. It's more like, I don't know. It's like I said... There's definitely people I'm like, okay, I can see, right? And then there's some people, I have a lot of women friends where I'm like, nah.
But here's the thing though, is like I said, though, to be fair, it's like, are you physically attracted to them? That's it, like...
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Physically attracted, right? The ED. And that's what I was saying. I can see someone, I'm like, oh, I can see certain qualities that can be physically attractive. Am I attracted to them? No.
You're right. You're right. There's emotional aspects do make someone, it makes you either more or less physically attractive.
Yeah.
The more like emotional, like there's a girl I know, for instance, who like I hooked up with her before years ago. I could still do it today. She's a gorgeous girl, but she's like mentally way out of line. Like, you know what I'm saying? And me, like when I talk to her now, that makes it so that I'm not attracted to her at all. Like I can be around her, and we hooked up before. Like it's zero,
and that can happen, right?
But here's the thing, right? I'm saying that I don't want to actively hook up with her.
Yeah.
But given the opportunity, As in, like, hey, if I wasn't in a relationship, you know, it'd been a couple of weeks, a couple of months, whatever, and she hit me up like, hey, slide through. Well, first of all, like, why don't you just come? Because I don't want to have to travel.
I
But
feel like that's such a
non-realistic situation.
not even non-realistic situation, but just more so like, what benefit does that add for you? As like,
I got to smash.
that isn't really. But what I'm saying is that it's like smashing someone just like, how to describe it? It's like getting to smash is cool and it's fun, but even you know that this person is not good for you. So it's like, why still do it?
Well, I'm not saying I would, but I also don't keep people around who I want to have sex with. Like I don't make friends with people who I want to have sex with. You know what I'm saying? And I want to have sex with a lot of women, so I don't make friends with a lot of women. But that's not to say, like, when I say I don't have female friends, right? It's I say that so, like, I say it just as a general blanket statement, meaning like I just try to stay safe, and it's not even an indictment against women. It's an indictment against myself. I'm putting myself in a position where I'm not gonna mess up. That's kind of what I'm telling myself. Okay, because I know that having woman friends, like, or female friends, like if you're a woman, a male friend, like, it opens the door to things happen. I'm not saying that if you do and it will. No,
just,
and there's a lot of
doors, though.
There's a lot of women, like you said, there's a lot of women I have communication. I just don't consider them friends, but I have communications with fairly regularly, but I'm just not physically attracted to them at all, so I know it'll never happen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. But like I said, I think I say it and it was right for you. I like that this episode we both called each other.
Yo, you're my bro. I'm gonna call you out if you say something. I'm like, you should consider something else, you know, because you call me out on something, I call you out on something, because it's like, I think it's important to ask yourself, like, well, why would I smash with this person when I don't, like you said, she's mentally not in, so in my head I was like, well, why would you even smash? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I get it though, the opportunity, and that she's physically attractive, but it's like, is it the best thing for you?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be smashed, but that's only because I already did. Yeah. If I had it, I would. But that's part of the dog that's in most men, and that's why I say, like, I don't keep women friends, is because I know that dog's in me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I know, like, if he's challenged, the nigga will want to fight. You know, so it's like, all right, like, since I know that about myself, you know, like, what does Drake say? Wallet.
That's from Drake. Yeah.
Shake it, warrior.
I love that song. But
know yourself.
Yeah.
For those who didn't catch it, we be dropping references too. Y'all don't catch sometimes. Yeah.
But that was a pretty good episode.
This is a great episode.
Great episode. Smarties. Before anything, this nigga went to the Dollar Tree. Or no, he ordered it from Amazon. Like mega, like big size Smarties. Mind you, it wasn't like Reese's Cups. It wasn't like Starburst.
They're literally called Mega Smarties.
Whatever. This nigga got Smarties. And
Smarties sponsor me.
And got a pack of them, like 20 of them, and he's halfway finished with them.
It was actually 24.
So this nigga ate 12 of them.
I gave 2 to you.
10.
Okay.
No, you don't give 2, you give me 1.
I gave 1 to Wad.
Yeah, so you had 10 left in that half, and you ate that half in 2 days, which means on average, you ate 5 of them each day.
Okay, but each pack is only 225 calories.
I don't give a damn how many calories they got.
So 10 of them is only like 2,000 calories in 2 days, bro.
That's your entire meals. All right,
it's fine. We'll run it off with a 7-mile run today.
Yeah. All right, guys. This is Ahmed
and Lofy,
and this is the Brotherly Love Podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Stay blessed.
Everything is as it should be. I wake up every day feeling good. 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 Everything is as it should be.